In February of 1998, I was hired by the Federal Aviation Administration as an aviation safety inspector. I'm currently assigned to Southwest Airlines Certificate Management Office as the Maintenance Partial Program Manager for the Boeing 737-700 aircraft. I'm here today because I'm concerned for the safety of the flying public, which has been jeopardized by the abuse of authority and violations of the federal regulations. I would like to inform you that details for this information, which I'm about to present, were originally submitted to the Division Management Team at the Southwest Regional Office, and 6 months later to the Office of Special Counsel. Since 2003, I have been raising safety concerns regarding my supervisor, Principal Maintenance Inspector, Douglas Gawazinski, suppressing my inspection findings and his refusal to follow FAA guidance regarding chronic and systemic non-compliance maintenance issues that affect air safety. After reviewing the Southwest Airlines AD compliance records for several aircraft engines, I discovered the required AD compliance information was inconsistent and was difficult to track the AD compliance. This was contrary to Title 14 CFR Part 121-380. After long talks with my supervisor, Mr. Gawazinski, on January 23, 2004, he allowed me to send Southwest Airlines a letter of concern, not a letter of investigation, as I wanted to and was required in accordance with our guidance. Southwest Airlines agreed with my findings and took 1 year to complete the project and bring the AD information into compliance. In January of 2006, I became the PPM for the Boeing 737-700 aircraft. In reviewing the AD compliance records, I found similar discrepancies to the ones I had found with the engines 2 years earlier. I immediately informed my supervisor, Mr. Gawazinski, of my findings and told him I wanted to send Southwest Airlines a letter of investigation, but Mr. Gawazinski refused. After going to him several times and insisting that we had to address the AD problem, Mr. Gawazinski, in January 2007, assigned me to perform the AD Management Safety Attribute Inspection, SAI for short. This inspection evaluates the content of the airline's manual system and procedures in meeting the regulatory and FAA policy requirements for AD management. When Southwest Airlines found out that I was the assigned inspector for this inspection for the SAI, the Southwest Airlines Director of Quality Assurance, Mr. Matt Sable, and the AD Compliance Team Leader, Mr. Bill Krivanik, had a meeting with my supervisor, Mr. Gawazinski, and requested my removal from doing the inspection. Mr. Gawazinski called me into his office and told me of this meeting. I went to the office manager, Mr. Mike Mills, and complained to him that it was obvious that Southwest Airlines wanted to cherry-pick the inspector for this inspection. Mr. Mills talked to my supervisor and then informed me to go ahead and do the inspection. On February 26, 2007, I informed the Southwest Airlines AD Compliance Team Leader, Mr. Krivanik, that due to the fact that both of us already knew that Southwest Airlines did not have all the required procedures in place for the AD management, I was also going to look and review some aircraft records to ensure AD compliance. Mr. Krivanik stated that he and my supervisor, Mr. Gawazinski, had discussed what my assignment was, and reviewing aircraft records for AD compliance was not part of my inspection. I told Mr. Krivanik he was correct. However, due to my knowledge of the previous history with AD issues, I felt that reviewing some of the Southwest Airlines aircraft records for compliance was appropriate. Mr. Krivanik was not happy about that, but he agreed to meet with me on March 15 and start the inspection. On March 15, 2007, I went to Southwest Airlines and met with Mr. Chris Roth. Mr. Chris Roth informed me that Mr. Krivanik could not participate at the meeting because he was working on a project. I went to my supervisor, Mr. Gawazinski, and told him that Mr. Krivanik could not participate with AD management inspection because he was working on a project. Before I had the chance to say anything else to my supervisor, he stated, yeah, they had some aeroplanes overfly an AD, and they're going through the records to find out how many. At this point, it was obvious to me that since I had told Mr. Krivanik that I was, along with the AD management SAI, I was going to review some aircraft records for AD compliance, Mr. Krivanik had decided to have the aircraft records reviewed prior to my inspection and had discovered the AD overflight discrepancies. On March 22, 2007, while I was performing night surveillance inspections at the Southwest Airlines maintenance facility at Chicago Midway Airport, I witnessed a Southwest Airlines aircraft being repaired due to a crack that was found on the fuselage. After returning back to my office and in talking with another inspector, I discovered that this aircraft was flying in revenue service with overdue AD inspections, with the knowledge of my supervisor, Mr. Gawazinski. I immediately reported this serious safety issue to my office manager, Mr. Mills. Due to my ongoing safety concerns with Southwest Airlines and the inadequate procedures for tracking and complying with AD requirements, I performed a review of the aircraft records, and I discovered the following. On March 15, that was the date I was supposed to start my inspection for the ADs, 2007, Southwest Airlines informed my supervisor, Mr. Gawazinski, that they had discovered that some of their aircraft had overflown the inspection requirements of Airworthiness Directive 2004-1806. At the time, Southwest Airlines were not sure of how many aircraft were affected and estimated that the number could have been up to 100 aircraft. FAA records show that besides the March 15 verbal notification, on March 19 also, Southwest Airlines, via the Voluntary Disclosure Reporting Program, reported the AD non-compliance again, but this time they informed Mr. Gawazinski that their investigation had determined that there were 47 aircraft affected, not 100 I was originally reported to him on March 15. Even though Mr. Gawazinski was aware of this unsafe condition on March 15, 2007, he did not document anything until March 19 when Southwest submitted the self-disclosure in writing. In reading the VDRP report that was prepared by Southwest Airlines and accepted by Mr. Gawazinski, under the initial notification, the non-compliance ceased after detection. Southwest reported yes. However, this is not the truth. The aircraft records show that the Southwest continued to operate the affected aircraft in a known unsafe condition and fly passengers until March 23, 2007. From March 15, 2007, the date that Mr. Gawazinski was initially informed by this non-compliance, to March 23, 2007, while Southwest Airlines was performing the overdue inspections on this aircraft, and while this aircraft was still operating in revenue service, records show that 6 aircraft had cracks on their fuselage. Maintenance records show that one of these aircraft had multiple cracks, ranging from 1 inch to 3.5 inches long. This is enough evidence of a serious safety issue. When it comes to ADs, our guidance is crystal clear. And had Mr. Gawazinski followed the FAA guidance, he should have notified Southwest Airlines that the affected aircraft could not be used in air transportation past the date that this non-compliance was discovered and initially reported to him on March 15, 2007. What is also aggravating and brings unsafe condition to the highest level of concern is the fact that this time of discovery, this aircraft had been flying for 30 months out of compliance with the overdue inspections.